Hello, guys. Yeah, so we're back. We're back to talk sports or football, as it were. And then, this is a special season, and that's why we brought something special to you all out there. This is Premium Sports Special, the amazing Kingsley, Bolo Money, Chijoke, Ezeali. And this special is all for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, who will be traveling to Cote d'Ivoire to take on Benin Republic. Just 1 point, and we would have sealed our ticket to the Africa Cup of Nations in 2025. It's good to have you guys back. What an experience we had on Sunday at Fish Farm. Bolu and CJ, I hope, like Yorubas will say, Koere o, Kodele. Do you understand what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about. At least there's one of us who came with a full glass and left with an empty glass. And I'm not mentioning name, but that person was amazing. It was good going outdoor. It's good staying indoor. But I'm sure very soon we'll be back on the outdoor business again.
Okay, it says we'll be back on the outdoor business. It's okay. Your glass full at some point, very
Mm.
empty.
Well, we should do more of the outdoors. It was fun. It was lively.
It was fun for you, CJ. I
It
remember.
was fun to meet it was fun to meet the
I
fans.
remember.
It was
Yeah.
fun to feel them in close proximity
And connect. And connect.
and connect. I don't know the connection you're talking about, but we did
I,
connect.
I,
And it was
I
fun.
saw a certain connection.
The connection
Well,
was beyond Jessica.
maybe look at talk.
Your own connection was way beyond Jessica. I understand.
Hmm.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. We had to just quickly do this so that we can get to talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. 23-man lists. We get to play Benin Republic, and I think for the first time in a long while, I was asking you guys before we came on board. So far, nobody has pulled out. Nobody is injured. When we have to replace any player, I think everybody is just hungry to get on the field of play and smash Benin Republic. We have everybody in camp as we speak. The three goalkeepers, Stanley Nwabali, Maduka Okoye, and Maso Basugi, all defenders. That's from William Trusty Kong to Bright Osai, Samuel, Bruno Yemachi, um, Osho Gabriel, there's Calvin Bassi, Olalua, Victor Collins. Midfielders, Wilfred Ndidi, Rafael Onyedika, there's Alassane Yusuf, Asifisayo Dele, Bashiru Frank Onyeka, and Alex Ruby. And the forward, Samuel Chukwueze, Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lukman, Kelechi Iheanacho, Victor Boniface, Busi Simon, and Sadiq Umar. Guys, Bolu used to mention this thing every now and then I'll start with Bolu. The way we show up, our players show up in camp. This particular sets, this particular color. Were you impressed, or is it that it's been same of the same?
Well, it's still same of the same. I think only 6 or 7 of them resumed on Monday when the camp opened. Moses Simon, about 6 of them or 7 resumed. Others came in on Tuesday. Stanley Wabali is now the superstar in the squad, so he strolled into camp around 6 p.m. Tuesday evening. Then the big boy who is back in the town, that's Sadiq Umar, came in Wednesday morning. The truth is, this happens every time. I believe it's still lack of discipline. I hear people give different excuses, maybe flight issue. I say it every time. There's no 10 hours direct flight from Europe to Africa. Where are they? Are they playing in Afghanistan? Are they playing in Asia? No, they don't play there. And they still refuse to come. Some of them even played on Saturday. Some played on Friday, but they still strolled into camp. But I'm not going to complain that much about it because we have an easy task to do. Easy in quote. 2 matches, 1 point is needed to qualify for the African Cup of Nations. So I'm not that worried about the game. I'm only worried about the discipline in the squad. But let's see how far this can go. What happened in the Libya game away from home that they could play? I think many saw disadvantages. I saw it bringing the players together in terms of synergy. They've experienced the good, the bad, and the ugly together. So maybe that would come on them and help them go against the cheaters of Benin Republic. I think all 3 points. Ogumode has said he doesn't know about playing for draw. He's going to lead out the team to play for a win. Hopefully they get the win.
Okay, hopefully they get the win. Just same question that I asked Bolo. I'd like to ask CJ. CJ, this guy's coming into camp. I know you were complaining about a certain player. Do you want to complain about him on camera, or you just want to do it off camera?
Not really complain about a certain player, but Bolu questioned the discipline. I question their hunger. So one thing or the other with the Super Eagles. Maybe they are feeling comfortable that they are already one leg or one foot at the AFCON already. Maybe they are relaxed that they've already qualified. But it's the national team. It's representing your country. The hunger should be there at all times. Whether you've qualified or not, whether you've been beating the team 10-0 or not, you should always show the same hunger, same commitment, same patriotism. Bolu rightly mentioned that some players played way on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they still um, come very late to camp, and it's not a good one. It's not a good one at all. I know they are big players. I know they are very. They think some of them think they've arrived, but you can't see this from other nations. Mohamed Salah, the biggest name arguably in African football these days, goes to the national team as soon as he gets called up, except he's injured. We see other African teams like the Senegalese team, we always see Mane there, always playing. They're even willing to sit on the bench. These things, I don't know, the Super Eagles, hopefully they'll get the results. But I don't want to be sound negative right now, but if Benin are hungry for points now, if he gets all 3 points on Thursday, I won't be surprised.
Okay, I will be surprised if anything happens to 3 points, even though we need just 1 point, and then we'll be at the AFCON. Let's look at the game proper. I just mentioned the players, and then I'm looking at it. So far, so good. Osini Guavon has been flipping through formations, playing sometimes maybe three or five at the back, and then recently he did four at the back. Let me start with CJ on this one. How do you think he's going to set up? Yes, it's an away game, but we know that the camp of Benin, led by a former coach, Janet Raw, has been sad, could I say bedeviled or crushed with loads of injuries. And so it's just like if it happens to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, you have maybe um, Osime, maybe Boniface, Iwobi, Chustekong injured and all of that. They have one or two injuries out there which will
Yeah.
really disturb them. So should we play for a draw or go there if you were a Guavon? How will you set up your side to go there
Well,
and at least
he,
get
he
us?
helps. He helps that the game is being played in a neutral venue. It's being played where there will not be too much of advantage to the home team, who is supposed to be Benin Republic, and the Eagles can go there and flex their muscles. Actually, the Eagles actually, with the plethora of talents we have, can easily win that particular game. So it's not be too much down to coaching. No disrespect to current coaching setup. Austin Babon is a decent coach, and you're talking about setup. I think he will set up in a 4-3-3 formation, but I would like to see players like Gabriel Osho play this particular one. He was formerly at Luton, now playing for Oxel. He was also invited to the national team one time, but injuries didn't allow him play.
Who will you
Now,
bench?
you said
Who will get your bench?
Osho can. It's not about benching players, but rotation. Right now, because for me, Semi Ajayi can rest, and Osho can partner.
Semaja is not
Ekong.
even in the squad.
You said,
Semaja is not in this. Semaja is not in this squad.
oh, Semi Ajayi is not in the squad. Then better he can play alongside True Second. So it's good.
No, I think it would be Bright Osai Samuel at right back, Olaino at left back, or maybe Olaino at right back, Bruno Yimachi at left back, and then you have Ekong and Calvin Bassi. So just run
That's
through your
usual.
formation.
That's
Let me
usual.
see.
That's
Before I
usual
talk to you.
suspect. That's usual suspect. But in the position we are right now, with one point needed to qualify, playing in neutral venue, and also it's a very, very reliable player that you can count on. I think it'd not be bad to see a new player playing at centre back alongside Trust Ekong for me. And since we already know that Stanley Wabali will be the goalkeeper. So I just want to see how he will handle himself in this particular game, and how because he looks like a very, very good player for me, and I want to see him really play. For me, that's the person I'll be going for to pair Econ for this particular game.
How about your midfield and then your forward line?
My midfield will still be the same suspects. Indeed, he will still be there likely. Indeed, he will still be there. alongside Wobi. And um, for me, Fisayo should start this particular one. We've always craved for Fisayo and Wobi to play this one. It's an away game, I know, but there's no need to play two defensive midfielders in this particular game. I want the team to really attack and show off themselves. Like I said, when I started speaking, this particular game is a neutral venue, and the Super Eagles should really go all out to win this particular game. They don't need to go for 1 point. Yes, they need 1 point, but they should go for a win. They should go for outright win. They defeated Benin 3-0 last time. That confidence is still oozing. They have Victor Osimhen back, who likely lead the line in this particular one. So there's nothing to fear. And Ademola Lookman is still there. We have so many individual talents in this particular team. So I'm not too worried about them arriving late. Although I said earlier on that if Benin picks a win in this particular one, I won't be surprised. But the Eagles have enough talent, enough stars to win this particular game.
Okay, it says the Eagles have enough stars to win a particular game. Let me go to Bolu very quickly. Bolu, you hear CJ saying Iguabon should experiment and then bring in Gabriel Oshaw, play two attacking midfielders in Fisayo Dele Bashiru and Alex Iwobi. We find they should be the only one to protect the back four that will be experimental. And then he believes that we'll go all the way. Do you agree with such risk when we have not sealed qualification, even though we just need a point?
If Gabriel Oshore is playing in any of these games, he'll probably get, let's say, 10 minutes. And that will likely come at the list of champions in the game against Rwanda. He's not starting this one. I think he's still going to stick with the back four that played the last time. Calvin Bassey, William Trustekong, Bruno Yemechi, who was brilliant in the last match against Libya at home. Then all I know is arguably, he's not even arguing, he's the best fullback we have in Nigeria. He's one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League currently. I think he'll stick with his regular back four. But I agree with the midfield with him. Super Eagles should not be playing two defensive midfielders. If you are playing, even if you are playing top oppositions like the Egypt, the Senegals, and we don't even need two DMs. When we talk of we're playing against lesser oppositions, I'll say Frank Onyeka and Wilfred Ndidi. Then the coach will be confused on who roams and who stays. I don't know why Guavon doesn't want to try both Alex Iwobi and Fisayo Dele Bashiru together. I think it's high time we play both of them in the same starting lineup, put the pressure on the opposition. Iwobi is more defensive amongst the two of them. Let him probably be the one to have the central midfield role, and Fisayo Dele Bashiru push further at the more. And for the front three, there's nothing new to expect. The only position we always don't know who will play. We know Ademola Lookman will play. We know Victor Osimhen now will start. He's fully fit. He's back in the team and everything. The other option is your last man in front for them. We don't know if it's Simon or Samuel Chukwueze, and who knows, maybe even Kelechi Iheanacho. At least we are sure two players will start: Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman, the incoming African best player. But whichever, I think, should still be enough to beat them. But 1 point shouldn't be that bad for us to get against them.
Okay, guys, now.
Before you say anything, I want to quickly correct something. Before people say Bolu has said Wobi is defensive, he said Wobi is more defensive of the two. Doesn't mean Wobi is a defensive player. Wobi is comfortable playing in that central role. That's what Bolu means. Before everybody started interpreting what Bolu means, Bolu said Wobi is a defensive player.
Okay. I was even going to talk about that before I take your predictions and then we wrap up. This is just a special package. We can't go on and on. Yes, I know the defense line, it should be a back four. If we do a back four, maybe Stanley Wabali, and then like we have all agreed, aside from the Gabriel Osho, if we have Tuesday Kong, Osai Samuel, Bruno Imacha, and Olaino, I think we are fine. Now, that midfield, I want us to look at it from the angle of how Iwobi plays at Fulham. At Fulham, they have two holding midfielders. One of them could even be Pereira at some point, who can move forward and come back. And then Iwobi rarely plays centrally, especially if you have Smith Rowe starts. So it means that Iwobi gets to play either on the right or on the left. He plays on the right these days when they start with Nelson, who will play from the left, or he plays from the left if they have to start Adama Traore, who plays from the right. And even whilst playing either left or right, he plays so well. So it necessarily doesn't have to be Iwobi playing central. In fact, in the game, their comeback win against Brentford, the comeback win against Brentford, Iwobi started on the right. And then before they brought, and then when they brought in Adama Traore and took out Pereira, he had to go into the midfield. So I'm looking at it. Must we be stereotyped? Can't we have a midfield of maybe Ndidi and then Fisayo Dele Basiru plays maybe close to Ndidi? And we can have Iwobi, Lukman, and maybe a Victor Boniface. Those three just roaming behind Victor Osimhen. So we are like playing 4-1-1-3-1 or 4-2-3-1, and then our opposing defenders don't know who to really mark. He will be from the right, he moves to the left, he goes central. Ademola Lookman from the right moves to the left, also sent to Victor Boniface, and then they can also join Osimhen. I feel that we should be a bit, flexible and not be you stay on the right. That's one thing I don't like about Mikel Arteta, who will keep Bukayo Saka on the right side of the attack from the first minute till the end. Can't we also be flexible with the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Who do I say? Let me go with CJ.
Okay. The thing there is, Iwobi is silently a fine utility player because from the central midfield position to the right, left midfield, he's actually very good because he's good on the ball and he moves well with the ball. But the truth is, Iwobi plays better when he plays centrally. The example you gave about Fulham, the Fulham team, if you look at the Fulham setup, if you look at the Fulham team very well, Pereira, you mentioned, is a number 10. Pereira was a graduate of the Manchester United Academy and he plays so well as the number 10 before he left the club. Coming now, both of them are in the Fulham team. So what they do, the coach, Bako Silva, cleverly puts Wobi ahead of Pereira. So what he does is Wobi shifts to the left, plays the little 1-2s with Smith Rowe because that's what he does best. He plays the little 1-2s, and at the end of the day, you just see he shines and he glows. But in the Super Eagles, it's a little bit different because he needs to carry the ball further. He needs to carry the ball long distance before releasing passes. So it's a little bit different. But if you have somebody like Fisayo that we've clamored for every time, Fisayo also is a very good ball carrier, a very good dribbler. And the thing that happens that if he has Fisayo to play close to him in midfield, the 1-2s will be very, very swift and they can release other players in the team. So that's why we are clamoring for him to play more of the central role alongside Fisayo, who would be maybe further up Iwobi, because Fisayo also has eyes for goals. He's a beautiful striker of the ball. I don't think maybe if Iwobi plays as you suggested alongside one of the three, or you'll be too many attacking players in the team, and maybe they might lose balance in the process. So I guess that's why any coach would not want to throw the likes of Victor Boniface, Ademola Lookman, Wobi, and Osimhen at the same time playing as a front four. So it's really a thing about balance actually. So that's why we're looking at Wobi playing more centrally because he controls the ball. He can bring the ball out from the back easily if the ball is played into midfield to Wobi and they spread it across the pitch. So it's really a simple one, really, from my perspective, looking at the Super Eagles team. And I think this team would really, really go far if we have better coaching. I keep saying it. I'm not comfortable with the coaching setup in the current Super Eagles. And hopefully we'll get it right.
Okay. Okay, you have to drag the coaches a bit. Bolu, the dynamism, is it, CDO is impossible to have, get to play Boniface, Lookman, Iwobi behind the striker, Osimhen, and then have that kind of dynamism.
Going by the suggestion you made, I don't think we'll be able to have Iwobi and Fisayo Bashiru together because we've seen Fisayo Bashiru play deeper with his clubs at large, and they've kind of struggled a bit with him so much that they had to sit him on the bench at some point. The strength is playing further ahead. But if we are going by your suggestion, I think what we could have, we've seen since last season in the championship, we saw how further Wilfred Dinidi has played. So we can have him with maybe Alassane Yusuf as a holding midfielder with you, and they're having the freedom to roam up and down. Then in front, the guys behind, obviously, Osimhen will be the point man. Then behind the striker, we can then have Iwobi on the left, on the right, have Ademola Lookman on the left. then different options behind the striker. We can have maybe Kelechi Iheanacho or even have Ademola Lookman play behind him. Or that's probably where Fisao Dele Bashiru can come in. Fisao Dele Bashiru behind the striker and Ademola Lookman on the left where he prefers to play, having someone else, Alex Iwobi, who you suggested on the right. Then Ndidi and Alassane Yusuf as holding midfielder. That can also work. But even if there's a set formation where player talent, uniqueness, and dynamics, it comes in is you don't have to sit where you are positioned all through. Even strikers these days don't like to sit up front alone. That's why many
Except you
people
play
are
for Arteta.
That's why many people think even Mbappe is not a nine because people have the mindset of a nine has to sit up front alone. Even Haaland, that is a natural nine, doesn't even sit up front alone most times. So players can also find ways to switch around. We saw it in the last game against Libya where Moses Simon and Ademola Lookman switch sides. But the flip side to that is Ademola Lookman was dead or almost all through the game while he was playing on the right, where Victor Moses Simon came to life. That is my worry. But we can switch the formation anyway. We can go for a 3-4-2, 3-4-3. We can play 3-5-2 and still have enough talent to go around. That's why I keep saying Super Eagles have the best squad on the continent. Unfortunately, to agree with CJ's angle, the setup, the coaching setup has been a major challenge, which is why we don't have a team yet or the best team. But in terms of the squad, we have more than enough talent.
Okay, Bolu says you have enough talent. They both agree on that, and they believe that coaching setup should do better. We'll come back and talk about this after the game. We'll have we'll have a better setup where we have a clearer picture of where our conversation should go towards. We seal a ticket to the AFCON, or God forbid we lose, and we now need to come back to the Gospel Apart them against Rwanda. But I'll take your prediction, guys, as we wrap up Premium Sports Special. CJ, what's your prediction?
I know you come to me first because you're hoping I'll say Nigeria will lose. But I'm looking
Yes.
out maybe 1-1.
1-1, CJ. Okay. Bolu,
Nigeria win over 1.5.
Nigeria win over 1.5. So it's either we do 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 2-0,
2-0, yeah.
4-1. Okay. All right, guys. Let's go to do this special one. We have to find ways to get out to you out there because we have promised that we'll do this. We'll be back when we are done with the Super Eagles against Benin. This match is 8 p.m. on Thursday. Yes, sir, the 14th day of November 2024. I'm the amazing King. Special thanks to Chijo Kezali and Bulo Money who had to hit to the call. Yeah, impromptu call. I'll see you guys. Later.